Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. We have the WWPCT final here of U-1700 between T Numbringer and Anirol. T Numbringer is the champion because he won the title last week off of Astrofu, and Anirol came through the qualifiers to win, and he's facing Numbringer. And the first map he chose is Bermuda Locket. And with me today I have TA4Life, who's going to be
How's it
casting
going?
with me. And yeah, we are in observer mode here because it's the
And
only
we already
way.
see first action. Anirul taking a little walk. Looks like he misclicked a little bit, but
Oh yeah,
back on
that
track it seems.
that's a great little walk there. He takes a stroll by the red rocks of Bermuda Locket. So Enero going UEF and Numbering are going Cybern. I guess both factions have their advantages, with Cybern having the better navy, at least at Tech 2, but UEF would probably have the advantage in these choke point battles.
Especially with ACU, but we're looking at second air from Numbringer. Got a whole bunch of power plant as well, which is good because so many rocks here. I mean, you got to get a lot of engineers, I imagine.
Oh yeah, actually this map is very similar to a map such as Ambush Pass or Veil of Isis, where you don't actually have to make any mexes with your ACU because you have a lot of reclaim right next to you. But I
Looks
don't
like Anirul
think.
also going second air with a standard 7 PGen. And I think on
Yes.
this one, since it's a bigger map, you can get a couple more PGens before you get that air factory. Especially with an assist together with the ACU like on Seraphim Glaciers.
I still wouldn't say you should get more than 8 though, because you really do need to get transports out very quickly if you want to take the sides. And
Here,
on this map, if you lose both of the side expansions, you're pretty much screwed.
unless you can get a good Navy, Tech to Navy will get you back. Especially with UEF.
Oh yeah, the cruisers would just absolutely demolish everything. Although, the interesting thing about this map is that you can build navy in two different oceans, which is very bizarre. As you can
Yeah,
have
even though
navy
you won one, you might not win the other. But I don't think I've ever actually seen that happen. But of course, Cybern can walk across those bridges.
that would take
Dangerous for them.
that'd take a very long time. I don't think that's very feasible at all. But in any case, that's not what's going on right now. And I don't
Hoping
know.
because there isn't much action. We're just watching the factory getting built.
Again, we can't speed it up or anything, which is kind of
See
terrible.
the eco. But in terms of the score, at least, it looks like Nombringer is taking lead. I'm not really sure why Anirul chose this map. He must have some plan or something, but I haven't really seen it too much. But hopefully, it
So
shows us something.
we do see mech marines going up on both sides for Anirul, but there's not really much for them to kill. On the left, there's Manti guarding, and on the right, there's pretty much nothing.
Yeah, the better it would have been much better with engineers instead of and also interceptors and scouts to try to pick off transports coming in.
So rather disappointingly, I don't see any early bombers from either player. Anirul has forgotten to make one of his mask extractors, which always helps.
Yeah, it's nice to find that out 5 minutes into the game. Shit. It's
And
like a navy plan for
yeah,
Anirul.
and he's making it on the outside. So I mean, is that some kind of plan to hide his navy or what? Because
I guess it's safer there, but
because it
yeah,
doesn't
that
really
doesn't really help.
it doesn't really do much there, especially at the Tech 1 level. And I
I mean, if
really
he gets a cruiser out there, it could be interesting, but take a long time. So we finally see a transport here from
yes, it's almost complete. And I want to see which side he sends his transport to, because Anirul isn't really. Actually, he's making his transport as well, so if they send it to opposite sides, they'll probably both end up with a side, but if they send it to the same side, then there could be some kind of fight.
I think the gesture, also the bomber and the gesture for Cyber make it a lot easier for.
And even though Anirul got his transport out later, Numbringer wasted a lot of time flying around, so it's gonna be dead even in terms of flying time to the sides. Anirul's still not picking up his mask extractor. I guess he figures that's not worth it.
Looks like a lot of land spam planned for both sides of his base. It's kind of difficult to get big spams through these chokes, and it looks like that Mech Marine from Admiral is finally making it. He got one kill. I'm not really sure where to kill. Probably a scout. It
Yeah,
actually might have a chance to kill an engineer.
yeah, actually, the Mantis is pursuing, but I mean, if he micros it properly, he will be able to kill the engineer. And you can see the transports are dead even. I mean, this is really, really even, and they're actually gonna fly past each other, which
Oh, they might
is.
just hit each other in midair. I wish that could happen, but
I think they could fly through each other if they got there at the right time.
it'd be funny if neither of them notices it.
So this is where I would love to be able to check their view, so I could see if they actually see this.
I had to have seen that.
Yeah, and now Nam is
Oh,
changing his mind, and he's got a few manti or something. Yeah, he's got units in that transport, so he's gonna win this fight very easily. So this is actually a complete disaster for Anirul. Point
try to get that
defensive.
PD up.
Yeah,
Might be
actually,
able to do it.
I think he will get that PD up. It's gonna be close, but I think he will do it. And if he gets that up, then he will win this engineer fight. And Numbringer was kind of shooting at every engineer there. If he had
Yeah,
focused them
one at a
down,
time. Oh wow.
look at
Or
that. I mean, just one bomb now could just kill
yeah, he needs
everything.
to get a bomber up there. And great thing to do. Usually, when you see drops like on Seraphim glaciers, not in situations like this, is a anti-air turret immediately, then factory.
So now we're seeing
See an anti-air turret.
we're seeing strange stuff from Manuel. First, the naval factory on the wrong side. He's not picking up his mass reactors or the reclaim, and his ACU is moving all the way to the left. This is weird. It's weird that he's not picking up the maxes or reclaim, because there's
Yeah,
really there's no reason to ignore those.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't make any sense. And well, now he's gonna make navy on the inner ocean.
Looks like there's another transport for Admiral that might be shut down. I expect it to be shut
Yeah,
down once
Nam
they
has
get.
more interceptors, so he's gonna win the airfight. And there goes the
It's
transport.
unfortunate.
No transports for Nam though, so he won't be able to take that site either. So actually, right now, Eneral still has a map control advantage.
If he has map control, but he's not taking the maps, it's not helping
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Another transport from
Now a gray bomber from Nam takes out 3 of the 4 engineers for Eneral on the left. So pretty soon he'll be able to run over that position.
there is a one artillery piece for it's only one, and there is a bomber from Admiral. If he can, oh, actually no, there's two.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. The engineers are
Will
now
take a long
dead.
time, but they need to get bombed. And you have bomber hitting absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, because UAF bombers can't hit anything, not even stationary targets. So again, engineer drops in close proximity from both players. So we're gonna see another fight here on the right hand side this time.
Admiral forgot that he made a drop.
Yeah, if he had been making stuff, this side would be as good as one. But if he doesn't make stuff
Does not
soon,
look good anymore.
well, actually,
So
Nam only dropped 1 engineer, so still a chance for
I think
Enro.
that transport is going to be.
Yeah,
And
transport.
looks like Navy from Numbringer as well, both on the inside.
And just an engineer spam from the naval factory on the outside for Enro, and I'm suspecting he's having huge mass problems because he's making that engineer very slowly. It's just
Gotta have mass
it's
problems.
just unexplainable. He's not taking his mass extractors. The mass extractors in his main base. It doesn't make any sense at all.
He has upgraded a mass extract tech too.
At least he's starting to reclaim. That's gonna help a lot with his mass problems. But it's weird that he's so focused on other things that he's not making the mass extractors on his own main base.
And I'm not taking out those 2 factories. That could be a
Yeah,
mistake.
yeah. I don't know. If Enro gets some engineers there, he could make something happen. But I think the units are pulling back now. Nam realizes what he's doing. Huge air force from Nam coming over Enrol's base, and Enrol doesn't really have an air force to speak of at this point. So if Nam recognizes that he could go Tech 2 air, the Renegades are an option, Corsairs are an option. Actually, he is going Tech 2 air right now.
Yeah, that means that'll deny any kind of navy that Admiral might be able to produce. It's gonna be game over. I don't really see a way out for Admiral here unless he starts.
Yeah, the only thing he can do now is Navy. I mean, he does have the right-hand side because he's basically guaranteed to win that expansion now, so that'll be
It's
good.
true.
So, I mean, map control is looking pretty even at the moment if Enroll would ever take the mass extractors on the left-hand side.
If Admiral can get a cruiser out, it might be good. But even a cruiser against Corsairs, it's not really that good.
Yeah, I mean, even if he gets cruisers on the opposite side of the water or of the land, it's not going to
Yeah.
do much because 2 or 3 Corsairs will easily kill a single cruiser.
Unless he gets a cruiser and a shield, but then he needs Tech 2 power.
Yeah,
Those things are pretty.
it doesn't really look good for Enroll.
But it's a nice land spam here. We got 5 factories, actually a whole bunch of land factories from Nomura going in either direction. But it's gonna be 5 land factories for Admiral in the right corner. So we're gonna have a land battle top right
I
side.
think it's gonna be even on the top, but on the bottom, actually, Enroll has a huge problem in
There's
these
just gonna be
lands because there's nothing to resist them.
a couple point defenses built up.
Actually, Enroll's factory somehow is still alive, so I mean, he still has the smallest glimmer of hope for the left-hand side.
He is making engineers, so yeah, it's because the shortest path is not through those factories, and
Yeah,
like, that's the thing never to do is to select all of your units and give them a single move. Gotta select small groups of units. That's one thing that you do in the micro. It's much easier to just go Control Z and send everything, but it's one.
what does Control Z do? I thought it was Control X.
Well, that's
Or,
everything.
yeah.
If you select, say, like a mantis, and you go Control Z, select every single mantis that you have.
Oh, okay. That's actually nice to
So
know.
yeah, it's nice for some things, but usually it's like an emergency thing.
Okay, so now we are seeing Tech 2 Navy from Enroll on the inner ocean.
In an air battle, that Anirul is actually winning. So one thing about Anirul, he has played so many games, and he is pretty experienced. He's not very quick as we're seeing it here, but
He's actually making
he
Tech 2
might
Navy
know
on both oceans.
it is excessive. I'd love to see him to get a Tech 2 engineer, get some Tech 2 point defenses up to stop this units, but Nomberger just running in one by one. I want to see how many kills this point defense is going to get for Anirul.
Yeah, if this continues, it'll get an infinite number of kills, really. Because eventually the regeneration will let it stay alive indefinitely. Now
Looks like
Numbringer
Nomberger.
retreats. 7 kills. Yeah, 7 kills.
Submarine fight in the middle, directly in the middle of the map. I think in this way, Anirul is better positioned. He's got
Yeah,
2.
yeah. Enroll will probably win this submarine fight. Because he's almost already taken out the first one. Yeah, Enroll will
Yeah,
definitely have this one. But, winning such a small fight isn't really going to do much. No,
looks like a
now
bomber. Oh, for Anirul. I'd love to see him kill those engineers. That bomber just.
he's going
Oh,
after some
actually,
other engineers, and he does.
that was a
Oh,
total
okay.
accident. That was the greatest UF bomber ever. 5 kills. That's a record.
That has to be a record.
Yep. And looks like Anirul making anti-submarine. I don't know. I disagree with this
Yeah,
choice.
I don't really know what he's doing right now. Maybe he's afraid that Nam will go for some barracudas or
The
whatever.
gnome in panic decides to run his units once again into the point defenses.
So we're seeing strange decisions from both players, and actually the score is exactly even. So I think this game could go on for quite a lot
I'm
longer.
enjoying this a lot more. But now Tech 2, and looks like Gnomringer going with submarines. It looks like Anirul guessed right that
Yeah.
Cooper is going to be a good choice.
Well, actually, the Barracuda is the logical option because he would assume that Enero would be going for destroyers because he seemed
Yeah,
to have won Navy.
definitely. But Anirul, maybe understood that and
Yeah.
went with a fast Cooper. It's a good choice against when you're facing Cybern as UEF.
Oh, let's watch these bombers come in because the Arty is standing still. So the bombers aren't even attacking anything. So never mind.
Yeah, that would have been great. Happen.
So
And now this is dangerous. We
yeah,
do
yeah.
see a Tech 2 point defense, which
That should get
probably not going to
completed.
happen.
No, I think that'll get completed, but I
See
don't
how
know. I
much
don't.
damage it can
I
do.
don't know what he can do when there's so much Tech 1 artillery in that force.
2 bombers miss at the same time.
That is great, but I think the torpedo boat could do quite a lot of damage to Numbringer. Not that he can win
Yeah,
Navy with that though.
but there is
Cruiser,
Tech 2 Air.
he has a
That.
uh
Oh, and a cruiser. Oh, this is great. Cruiser
yeah,
from
yeah.
Admiral.
Very, very
That's gonna.
well timed cruiser from Admiral.
Yep,
And here comes his air, so he will be able to get air control. So maybe he should consider Tech 2 air himself, but
definitely.
really he should be worried about the Tech 1 army that's going to demolish all this stuff right
Oh,
now.
that Tech 2 power for Admiral. So tragic here.
Yeah,
Does not want to lose that.
that is not going to get done. Now a push for Admiral against the Navy of Nam. I think this torpedo
Yeah.
boat will easily handle that. But
The anti. You can see those torpedoes don't even hit the torpedo boat.
yeah, it just has an insane anti-torpedo defense. But a second Barracuda on the way, that could be difficult. The units for
Oh,
Nam
and the
are,
torpedo launcher does not want to get that close.
yeah, that's gonna screw over his Cooper. I actually don't know if the Cooper outranges a Tech 1 torpedo launcher. I don't think it does. It's irrelevant at
Or
this
needs
point
to
anyway.
retreat now.
Oh, and a cruiser coming out for Enneral on the inner ocean. That's a terrible time to have a cruiser coming out because now there's a
Did
Barracuda.
not expect that Cooper to lose. But he can get another Cooper up pretty quick. They're pretty cheap. And Tech
So
2 Power survives for
yes,
Admiral.
yes.
That's
I
huge.
I was just looking at it. The Tech 2 power survives. Units coming in now. They could probably finish it off. But
Yeah,
if
and
it,
on the
oh, this is gonna be very close. He just needs to target it. But now I'm running
one thing to
away.
do here, take that Tech 2 engineer, repair the Tech 2 Power. You got to repair it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one thing I've seen people who are good survivors.
Some
That Minori
Manti,
getting hit by strat bombs and stuff.
some Manti in
But
the back of Enrol's base, unable to hit anything. But now they are starting to hit stuff. And since Enrol survived, he's got a lot of reclaim from all those units. So I mean, his position is still good,
and
and he still has the right hand side.
multiple cruisers on the outside for Admiral. They're making their way around.
Now Navy started on the outside for Nam. A few frigates would easily kill those cruisers though, so
Or just subs, frigates, whatever.
he needs to be very
Um,
careful.
Tech 2 Power goes down.
Yeah, that's sad. I think it's a big mistake to be pushing in with that cruiser in the middle though, because
Yeah,
that sub can easily target the two Tech 1 subs and then kill the cruiser.
Admiral needs to get a Cooper up.
And
He
instead he's
needs
making
to.
another cruiser. That's terrible.
It actually looks like in terms of land battles, it could be an advantage for Nomringer on the right side. Looks like he has more units. If he makes a push, might be able to take the right side.
If he took the right side, I think that would probably be game over. Because even though it looks like Anirul has an advantage in Navy, it's not really a solid advantage. He's not going to be able to hold that for long if Nam gets some Navy on the outside.
Yeah, it's submarines for now. Looks like that cruiser, it's on 8 kills, it's gonna die pretty soon here.
It's going to get a lot more kills though from these interceptors that just decided to fly over it. And
Barracuda needs to take care of it.
and a destroyer now coming out for Nam. It's almost done. That's going to be devastating. Especially with another cruiser coming out for Anirul.
Looks like this cruiser, he just needs to run home.
But
It's just gonna sit there.
once again, no answer for Nam's Tech 1 army that's running through. And the cruiser is very much screwed.
Maybe ground fire with the cruise missiles here. Some cases that'll work. And looking at Nom's base, it looks quite good. He's got so much Tech 2 power, he's got Tech 2 mass extractors. So much better than what Admiral has.
Yeah, Nam's base has not been attacked at all the entire game. The cruisers might change that, but really they're not going to be able to do that much damage.
See some TMD. Because actually, if those cruisers target Tech 2 power, that would be pretty bad. That would completely screw up the whole balance of things for Nom, who's got a lot of build capacity on his Tech 2 air, which is not producing torpedo bombers.
There's actually several Tech 1 mass extractors upgrading the Tech 2. If those got killed, that'd be very painful.
Tragic. Like this cruiser here. Oh, the second cruiser is gonna die. So this submarine, that was the second.
47 kills, 48 kills on a cruiser. Ridiculous.
Those are
Okay.
very effective.
Okay, looking back at Enrol's base, it's not looking good in Navy.
This submarine for Gnome took out 2 different cruisers. And a destroyer for Gnome, yeah.
That's basically GG in the Navy front for at least the inner ocean. The outer ocean might belong to Enrol temporarily, but the ironic thing is that those two T1 subs could kill all 4 cruisers. Well, actually 3 cruisers. I thought there were 4 for a second.
That Cooper, another Cooper for Anaral would have completely changed the situation. If there could have been 2 cruisers still alive in the ocean for Anaral, and that would change all the different battles.
Yeah, I think on the right side it's still very even, so Enrol will still hold on to that, but he needs to start reclaiming. There's so many rocks that he could take from the right expansion, and that would help so much. I mean, I think
These
there's
cruisers
an
still alive. 79 kills, 30 kills. Oh yeah, and finally some TMD for
it's too
Cyber.
late. It's too late to stop all those missiles that are already on their way. So they're at least gonna kill one Tech 2 power.
Well, actually, he already took one out. He's gonna take out yet another,
Oh yeah, I see the wreck now.
right? Um, and it's gonna take a while for the submarines to kill the cruisers. They're regenerating very quickly.
Yeah, especially the one with 81 kills. I mean,
TMD, yeah.
Enrol is actually surviving quite well. He's got a destroyer now to kill Nom's destroyer. Cooper now coming up, and the submarine is not targeting the destroyer, so that's a bad piece of micro from Nombringer. So the Navy is not lost for Enrol by any means, actually. His destroyer, because UEF destroyers are so much better in close range combat. So Nom's destroyer is now dead, and he is
It's
gonna
half
repel.
health.
He's gonna repel the land attack, and the naval
Nice
advantage
reclaims.
now. The naval advantage now goes back to Enrol, and he's killed all 3 Tech 2 powers for Nom. So this game suddenly became very even again.
And I imagine Norman, he needs to recover. He needs to pause a lot of things. He needs to pause all of his air and rebuild his power. And at the same time, he needs to take care of the cruisers.
He
These
should,
submarines are going to help push the cruisers back, so it's going to give him a little bit of time. But there's a cruiser on the other side, which might give a surprise.
yeah,
Of
that's
course, even though there's all this mass for Gnomeringer, he can't use it because his power is fucked.
why is he building power in a different location? He should build it on top of the Rex. That would make so much more sense, but he's building it in a completely new spot.
Yeah,
But the
it's an
cruiser,
unfortunate choice.
the cruiser sneaking up on the right could kill a number of Tech 2 Master Trackers,
Well,
actually.
the destroyer died. The
Where?
submarine killed the destroyer.
Oh, I did not see that coming, but Cooper coming out, and Nom won't be able to stop that, because he can't kill the Tech 2 factory in time, so that submarine will die.
But at 21, this is so far the MVP of the game, I think. This is that second sub that came out. It killed the first Cooper, killed 2 cruisers, and now it killed the destroyer.
Yeah, definitely a very powerful naval unit in this game. And here comes the Cooper now, so that'll put an end to this nonsense.
These cruisers, all cruisers survive for Anaral. They're coming back home. And on their way back, they're killing all these different units. Tech 3, oh wow, we see bricks. I missed that. Nomberger making bricks.
Oh,
I don't know if
I think Anirol should just swing back and focus on that Tech 3 factory because the subs can't kill his cruisers in time and he will be able to take it out. I really think that'd be a great move for Anirol at
do you
this
see a
point.
destroyer
Yes, there's
on the outside?
yes, there is. A destroyer is coming for Anirol, so that'll kill all these Tech 1 subs with no problem.
This is pretty amazing that Anaral actually did have a plan, and we were kind of laughing at him with this naval factory on the outside, but it's completely turned the game. I gotta say, some mistakes from Gnome, but quite effective.
And here's the cruiser on the outside on the top right, and I don't know if it's focusing on the T2 maxes or what, but if it does, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna be devastating.
I don't know what
Effective
it's.
power, yeah, finally,
I don't know what
Gnome
it's hitting right now. What? Yeah, Nom has solved his power problem. He's got Tech 2 on his ACU now, or at least he just finished it.
got a lot more build capacity on Navy, so it looks like he's gonna try to win the Navy in the middle, and he can totally do that. Not nearly as much build capacity for Anaral.
But I mean, Enrol might have more mexes right now than Nom does because Nom doesn't really have the left hand side taken as much as Enrol has the right hand side taken. But
It's
you can't really call it because Enroll has lost his base mexes over and over again.
I think
So
for Anirul, he really needs to do something about Navy, either Tech 2 Air. He also is very low on power. He kind of hasn't tried to make more Tech 2 power, which is a little disappointing.
yeah,
Very low on power.
where is he getting his power from? This is where it sucks. We can't check how much power he has.
I
But
don't think he really has that much.
he can't have that much power. I only see Tech 1s.
And he's gonna make this shield boat, which is gonna absolutely crush his power. That's a mistake.
What is that shield boat going to protect anyway? A torpedo
Tactical.
boat.
That destroyer and a cruiser coming out for.
Well, the cruisers are now running away from the destroyer. The destroyer needs to reunite with these cruisers on the left-hand side and kill all the subs. Or at least, I
Maybe
guess
Nomriger will not notice.
yeah, that's gonna happen anyway, so forget what I said. Tragedy for Anirul on the top. He did not kill any of the Tech 2 mexes, and his cruiser will die to Tech 1 subs. I don't see
Lost
why
opportunity.
I don't see why he wasn't
Actually,
targeting
there,
this.
if that cruiser would have focused on the naval factory of Nomriger, he could have killed so many engineers.
Yeah, actually, he could have shot it from there. So
Missed
multiple,
opportunity, many.
multiple
But
missed
this is
opportunities.
going to be very dangerous on the left side as those 4 cruisers and a destroyer come in
Yeah,
from Admiral.
that's actually extremely powerful. So
Tech 3 factory, couple Tech 2, and then with that many cruisers, you're going to need a lot of TMD to protect the base.
once those cruisers spread out, they can hit everything at once, and then it's basically impossible to cover your entire base with TMD.
Comes a shield for Admiral. It's working. Let's see when it goes off. I expected to see it turn off. Finally, some Tech 2 power being started.
That has to be his first Tech 2 power because he doesn't have any power in the expansion. It's very weird.
One thing I'd love to see for Admiral is the gun on the ACU once he gets a little more power. Because those destroyers, Cyber love to get on land and they're really slow and you want to get that gun. Looks like the brick from Numberger is going to
Yeah.
go underwater.
It's weird because I'm zooming in on this stuff and you're mentioning it as soon as I zoom in on it. It's a little bizarre. So
I
now,
can't see what you're looking at.
has he scouted the Tech 3 factory yet? Because if he does, he can stop and kill that, which would be very
That'd be
critical.
the ideal thing to do. And I think this brick from Numberger, that's a good idea. It's going all the way on the outside, and then once it makes it back on land, it can go directly into Admiral's base, which will
Yeah.
be
Well, not really. There's a torpedo boat there, so if Enero were to see that, he could easily take out the brick with the torpedo boat.
looks like on the other side the cruiser has died and the submarine's making their way around. Now, this is pretty much a bad situation for Admiral's units on the right side. A whole bunch of Tech 2-point defenses, and now the Navy. It's a stealth Navy,
Yeah,
standard cyber Navy.
I don't think Enero is interested in winning on the right-hand side, though. He just wants to hold his expansion, which so far he's doing very well. Huge amounts of reclaim on the peninsula, though, for anyone who wants it. And
These
now,
cruisers looking really good.
yeah, now I'm really expecting
Savage.
Enroll to win the outside and Nam to win the inside, which is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So that could lead to some very interesting stuff.
It's like a drop from Admiral. It's a
A brick right in the middle of Enroll's base. This is gonna be devastating. He needs to get his ACU out and overcharge it right now.
How did that? Oh yeah, it just walked over there.
Yeah,
Where's the ACU?
he's literally just
Oh
walked over
man,
there.
this is gonna be over. What is the brick doing?
Yeah. Why is he going to the only spot where he can
He's going after Navy. He really wants to talk to the ACU, but Admiral will not overcharge him. Oh god, this is
what is going on? It's gonna
this
go
is
underwater,
ridiculous.
so now it's gonna use its amazingly powerful torpedoes instead of its main gun. That is a great brick.
Big lost opportunity there.
The Tech 3 factory is still alive. Enroll did not stop to kill it completely, but he does stand to completely destroy Numbringer's base. Numbringer with Tech 3 on his ACU, so experimentals at this point are a possibility.
Sure, looks like
Although,
transports for Numberger.
so why is Enroll's ACU just chilling by the naval factory? And now he's starting to move towards the brick, but it's way too late. That brick is going to destroy everything. So I think both players are going to lose their main bases. Enroll's going to lose it to a brick, and Number will lose it to the cruisers.
Navies are pretty much split. but there's absolutely no power for. There is some tech to land for Admiral on the right side. He needs to get some tech to engineer.
There's no way for Nam to know this, but if he targeted all the Tech 1 power with the brick, this game would be over.
And actually, I think Admiral's ACU is in a very bad position now.
Yeah, he's almost in a checkmate position now.
There is still power storage that's alive, but I think the brick is gonna kill it pretty soon. Is the
Eh,
brick gonna move back?
Yeah, the brick is moving towards the
Oh,
ACU.
I think
Man,
Admiral here could be if
actually
he does 3 overcharges
actually
with 2 ships.
the brick has enough
Oh
health to
yeah, there
survive an
goes
over.
the destroyer.
The brick
He
can
just needs to
survive an
kill the brick.
overcharge. The brick can survive one overcharge at this point.
Oh yeah, it is over 1200. Oh, and
Yeah,
game over.
Enrol's dead. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah,
He should have overcharged the brick earlier. Actually, no torpedoes. No torpedoes for Nam. Enrol's gonna survive a little bit longer. That is
yeah, reclaim the ship. See if he can do it.
that is just ridiculous. The destroyer now coming in, but somehow Enrol is still alive.
But yeah, we do see now a destroyer coming in. It's gonna be game over.
And it's weird because at this point, Enrol is gonna completely demolish everything in Nam's base. It's just that he did a little bit too late.
That was those Tech 1 subs. That's why you never send cruisers out alone. That's a couple, or scouting, just basic scouting, so you know what you're facing.
Anyway, game 1 goes to Numbringer, and so
Next 2 games gonna be chosen by so
yep,
should be a 3-0, but you know, with this type of play,
that was a very good game
everything's
actually.
possible. I did enjoy like the last 15 minutes.
All right, so guess we'll move on to the next one. And now we're in game 2 of WWPCT final between Numbringer and Enrol. Numbringer got the choice of map this time, and he has picked Open Palms. And again, it's Cybern versus UEF. And yeah, we'll see what happens in this game.
6 pigeons, not 7 from Numbringer, which means he's gonna rush the Hydra, and if he's gonna do that, he might as well have gone with 4. So interesting choice there from No. Admiral, he's gonna go with also 6. Well, it'd been really interesting to actually see the ecos of these 2 players. But I'm glad that Open Palms is chosen because Admiral has played this map, I'm sure, hundreds of times. So I expect a really good game from him.
Yeah, I think that whenever there's going to be some kind of classic map, Enrol will have a huge advantage because he's played every map so many times.
I didn't really want to say that halfway through. I didn't want Gnome to change his mind. Let's see, but this is very similar to the Voodoo build. One thing about doing the Voodoo build with second air here.
Okay, wait
an
a second.
engineer.
What is Numbringer doing? He's not making any second factories now, and he was going to the bottom. Now he's changing his mind again, and now he's going for 7 pigeons, followed by air, followed by immediately moving down. So that was a bit weird, but whatever. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, probably something not important.
Okay.
But also the rocks that are all scattered around here. Looks like Admiral's picking them up.
Yeah, Nam is picking them up as well.
And here, that's a really annoying thing. And if you're playing somebody good, you take the time to reclaim everything if you want to max out your eco. But I don't think it's really necessary unless you get a lot of build capacity early. You got to get that second engineer to assist the ACU. If you don't do that, I think you can just do a patrol order.
So I think Numbringer's taking something out of Fail Pro's book here, turning the cloak on and off on his scout to try and confuse Enrol.
Of course, the UEF scouts are good for this. They have the 2 damage per second instead of 1.
Oh man,
Pretty good at killing other scouts.
they are actually pretty good at that because the UEF scout will win against everything except Seraphim, of course.
And the Snoop, the scout for UEF, has the range on the light assault bots, so you can kite other light assault bots with it, helping out the mech marines. It's a really nice combo.
Okay, so let's see what units are coming out of the air factories. First scout for both players, bomber next for Enrol, and interceptor. Okay, so non-aggression from Nom, aggression from Eneral. Weird because he has UEF, so I mean it's really hard to be aggressive with a UEF bomber.
Strange that Numbringer. Guess he wants to play safe. We do see a McMarine on the left side from Animal and Mantis from Gnome. Mantis does not have radar with it. Yeah, Animal is going to avoid it. It's a good play from Animal. On the other side,
Yes.
also a good McMarine. So Animal, we can see he really knows how to play this map.
Well,
He's got the
Eneral now
standing.
he just ran into a Mantis on the top, but he did a good move on the bottom. And actually, with the engineer kind of making some kind of rendezvous down there with the mech marine, he's gonna pick that engineer off.
Oh,
It's an odd path for Nombringer to be sending that engineer in, but it works out perfectly for Eneral.
I love the fact that Animal is just non-stop bombers.
Yeah,
Sectors.
he hasn't made any inties, and actually that's probably pretty bad.
It's also really difficult to micro like 3 different bombers.
Here comes this mech marine on the left-hand side, which is gonna kill the engineer. So that's nice from Eneral.
This Gnome tries to reclaim it. Won't do it.
One
But
bomber does
now,
get all the way to Nam's base, and it has some kind of
see.
attack. Let's see if it can kill something.
Yep. Oh, great.
One
Kill for
engineer.
the. I
That's
would
all.
have seen it stop and bomb again. It was a perfect path.
Well, it's always an accomplishment to get at least one kill with the UF bomber.
Oh, and the bomb. Oh, this is a really. Only one.
That was very weird. The bombs all kind
Strange.
of spread out and missed.
Understand that. But the air turret does a good placement. General. 150 mass always well spent. Some Mantis from Nomringer running into General's base.
Yeah, they kind of just ran past Eneral's units.
I gotta say that Nomringer is about to get an advantage in terms of mass extractors. He got that. Although that Snoop up on top from General might have a chance to kill this engineer, which would be very critical.
Has the game frozen? Le Pen? Yeah, because
And
Le Pen somehow was observing.
he's probably gonna kill this replay too. Sync. Thank you.
I don't think it really matters.
That's true, but
Okay, seriously, I mean, why did he join if he's gonna time out?
just so.
Why does Le Pen even want to observe a game between Eneral and Nam in the first place? That doesn't
Because
really
it's
make
late.
it doesn't
Well,
make
what
sense.
time is it in Germany right now? It's like
I think they're 6 hours ahead of me, so it would be 5:08 in the morning over there.
he's probably decided to go to sleep now. Let's see. At this point, though, in this game, I think there is an advantage for Numbringer. If he doesn't lose that engineer up on top, he's gonna have more mass extractors.
Yeah,
The expansion on the bottom from Adderall.
you have to kick Le Pen.
Well,
Okay, now it's fine, I guess. All right.
got a lot of good rating from Adderall from Numbringer on the left side.
The Snoop is making progress on this engineer. It's taking it down to half health, actually. If Nom doesn't do anything about it, he will lose that engineer.
Which will be great, but there are some Mantis, and there's a bomber as
Yeah,
well.
bomber coming in. That'll finish the engineer off, assuming it hits, of course. There's always a leap of faith.
Got to.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Direct hit.
I was gonna say if it missed, it needed some help from the engineer, but it did score a direct hit.
Good assist for that Snoop. These Mantis are doing a good job for Numbringer. Of course, the Mantis cannot run the striker, and definitely showing right here.
No, it's gonna
Get
be
behind.
it's gonna be very annoying.
That McMarine making his way all the way around for Admiral. It needs to stop and just go back.
Yeah,
Sit behind.
there's nothing for it to kill at this point. What does Alex want? Nom has 3 NGs on power and factory. So what? Who cares? That is not that important. You can't see their ecos anyway, so it's not like it matters.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think what has happened is that there isn't actually too much power for Numbringer. He had his initial build order, but now I guess it's only 7 minutes. Actually very similar for these two players. We also seen a transport from Admiral. If Admiral can take the sides, those expansions, that could be an advantage.
I don't actually really like getting transports on this map. I'd rather make factories directly on the ledges.
Yeah, and I actually started doing that after you mentioned it. It's really good. And one thing I've seen Adjutant do is when you're expanding with your ACU and you're grabbing these 6 mass extractors, keep walking with the ACU to the side and just grab it.
Yeah,
That
that
way you know you're gonna get for sure.
actually that sounds like a good idea. I just always made it with a single engineer on both sides. And now the Mech Marine from Emerald could continue. It's already killed him. Oh wait, the Mass Extractor with 9 health. It almost killed a Mass Extractor. But it could kill that engineer now. If Emerald
And
decides to react.
Admiral wins this battle on the left side. It's gonna be a lot of reclaim, and I think you will.
He will. He has better positioning and more units, so he needs to get an engineer out there. And he needs to cap the mexes, because that's pretty important at this point. But he is denying the mexes on top. So map control very even once again.
There's a nice group of units from Nomager coming from the bottom.
Yeah. They actually
See it.
rallied directly into Emerald's base. And Emerald should see that
Yeah,
on
well,
his
they
radar.
will sneak in.
No, Emerald is moving back with units to try and defend it.
Nomager pretty aggressive with the ACU. I think he's going to
And
take, and we're gonna see transport
at this
spot.
in this situation, actually, Emerald, I think he could have taken his tanks and gone around the ACU and raided the expansion. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been the aggressive move.
So
Nomager now
now,
moving back.
so again, the players send transports to the same site at the same time, and 4 versus 5 engineers. So it's gonna be very, very close. Actually, 4 on 4. I thought there was an extra engineer.
Scout from Admiral, so he knows for sure. There is engineers. Nomager does not know.
And even
And
though Emerald knows, but he's not doing anything about it.
this is
Just
very important for Admiral sneaking in units directly at the power production of Nomager. If he can kill
oh
a
wow,
whole bunch of pigeons there, it's gonna be a huge loss.
he's at least gonna get these engineers, and the artillery has the firepower to kill these pigeons, of course.
It's quite a bit of arty.
And Emerald just doesn't even care. He's just sending units one by one at Numbringer's base.
Nomager also a couple tick to mask extractors.
With so much arty here, he could target the Hydro. That would be devastating. I wonder if he did that. Or if he's... No, he's just targeting factories. He should have targeted the Hydro there with so much arty. 600
Oh,
damage.
reason to
600
ever
damage
hit
per
target.
shot. I mean, 600 damage per shot. He had more than 3. He could have killed it in one volley.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Admiral, he did kill a couple mask extractors, but
If he had taken out that Hydro, I would have been very
or
impressed.
even just yeah, either Hydra or pigeons would have been great.
He has won the battle on the left ledge, so that's going to be an extra 3 maxes for him. And he's moving up
Get a
to
nice
the top
reclaim.
with it. He's moving up to the top with the transport, and there's nothing to oppose him there.
There's also a nice engineer from Admiral all alone up on the top expansion. Get maybe a point defense or something.
Yeah, he's just making mask extractors, but Nom is going to raid Emerald's undefended mexes on the right. And Emerald ran past Nom's ACO like I said he should, but he should not stop. He should just keep running and try to raid the back
Definitely.
mexes.
Mantis will catch up, but he needs to keep running.
If he stops now, he's dead. Another group coming in to raid the 2 mexes for Nom. So very aggressive from Emerald, actually.
Admiral taking mass extractors. And a huge response from Nomberger. He's
Yeah.
going to send so many units back. That's great. That's a very effective engineer. That's going to open up the field.
He's being very... I mean, that one engineer made him panic.
Yep.
So, strange stuff, but somehow that is actually very important because it saved Emerald's expansion from dying. So, that's a heroic entry. He sacrificed
Yeah, for
himself
sure.
to save his friends.
I have to say, I'm really enjoying Admiral's games. It's so weird, but he does a lot of things right, which
It's weird, but
makes
it
it
works.
doable.
But with both ledges, that's very powerful on this map. You can actually get Tech 2 factories there and start hitting stuff on the bottom.
Yeah, great place to get drops from. And Admiral is pretty good with transports. He might actually do some. And this is interesting. A wall here for Admiral. It looks like he's for any kind of raids. He's looking to block them.
So at this point, Anarol is looking pretty good, so he should just take all his mexes and tech and maybe get some more factories. He doesn't have that many factories compared to Nam, and Nam is being incredibly defensive with some T2 PDs right at his base for no apparent reason. That's just
T2.
throwing away mass.
I don't think there's really a good reason to make tech to point defenses on this map unless you're really getting pushed back into your base. But I think the logical thing for Admiral, if you could expand together, it looks like the AC is moving back. But if you would have made a push for the top expansion, I think you could have totally got it.
I
Then
don't
he'd have
know.
really good map control.
I don't know, because Nam has a lot of hoplites in his army, so that could be very dangerous for Anarol's ACU if he doesn't have the gun.
Sure, I didn't notice Tech 2 land. Tech
He
2
doesn't.
land is going to be really bad.
He doesn't have a lot of hoplites. He has a few. Some nice artillery raiding the back from Anarol, so now he's using artillery as raiding units.
Sure, those are very effective. Looks like air is going to be planned for Admiral on the top.
Oh, terrible, terrible move from Anarol on the bottom. Just sending his units in to get surrounded.
This force from Numberger is going to be very difficult to stop.
That's where micro on the units becomes very important, because it's not enough to have as many units, because if you send them in one by one, you're going to lose them all. You have to have more guns facing at your opponent.
Yeah, and that's something. Some players do that much better than others. Looks like Admiral getting really pushed back on all fronts. He's in danger of losing both of his expansions.
It's like the previous game where he was doing so many nice things that looked good, but he doesn't do enough solid play to survive. And he just gets outspammed and outpushed.
Definitely not enough factories, but now he's got Tech 2 land, so that should be interesting. Also, only one Tech 2 mass structure.
Yeah, very weird. I mean, Emerald didn't spam and he didn't really tech either, so he hasn't really gone for either of the standard strategies.
He does have Tech 2 land now, and those raiding arties, they need to stop. They stop now. They're not going to do it up on the very top.
Well, it's almost impossible to pay attention to that kind of stuff. Unless you're Lucian. Oh, look at this from Emerald. On the left-hand side, he's gonna build a factory down on the bottom.
So he knows a lot of really good things.
Yeah, he plays with tricks. Which makes you think that Enero is probably just playing for fun. Although he really seemed to want to win this, so I mean, it's interesting.
Tech 2 power for Admiral. Don't see that from. Oh no, there's Tech 2 power as well.
So with this factory on the left, Enero could make a few tanks and go and raid the mexes behind Nam's ACU. It wouldn't really be a problem. Or he can make a force and go attack the top.
Looks like some transports getting ready for Admiral. He might do some drops. Actually, a drop directly into Numbringer's base will be very nice.
One thing that I saw Pebble do against Voodoo on this map was load a bunch of artillery into a transport and drop it on the hill behind your opponent's base.
Yeah, and that's difficult to do because usually the transports, they try to drop it on the outside. But
yeah, but
you can also do that in some places on a 4-leaf.
Oh, really?
But in the middle of the battle, it's difficult to choose that right spot.
Well, Pebble somehow pulled it off, and it was pretty awesome because it was killing all these Tech 2 mask trackers in Voodoo's base. But
you get to figure out, you just got to find that spot, and then once you know which spot it is.
But then Pebble ended up losing that game because he wasn't spamming enough, and we might be seeing the same thing with Enroll because he's playing with tricks, but he's completely lost map control.
Successful drop.
Yeah, it's a nice drop, actually.
Actually, if he kills those and then puts them back, that'll be like TLO. TLO used to do stuff like that.
Well, that's actually pretty standard when you're playing at a high level in StarCraft, so maybe he was sort of doing that by instinct.
And amazing that Snoop's from the ledge here, long range Snoop.
Yeah, that Snoop is a sniper. He has ambitions. He doesn't want to. He doesn't just want to be a scout.
See how long it lasts. But
Oh, he
actually, this is a good looking force from Admiral.
actually it's a very
Collected a lot of
powerful
units.
force. That's a lot of monkeys. And if they get close to the hoplites will just die, because hoplites are made out of paper.
I think they're getting a boost. I think at one point they were 450 health. Now they're a little more. They're like 550.
So now Enel has to make a difficult choice. Does he defend his main base or does he save his top expansion? Because if he loses the top expansion, then he loses all map control. But at the same time,
I
he
think
has.
Gnomebringer, he's not, the main base isn't actually under that much. So it looks like the expansion is gonna fall. There should be good
Yeah.
reclaim, Admiral. And Gnomebringer not paying attention. There's a whole bunch of arties doing all kinds of damage.
Yeah, I mean, and Numbringer might control more of the map, but does he actually control more mexes? And look at this little secret base from Emerald that's going down on the top left. If he does something with that, then that could actually work.
And actually, a push back with his big force from Admiral, he might catch. He's coming in support, but Gnomebringer actually pulling back, and he's gonna leave quite a bit of reclaim.
If Emerald had a force of pillars, say, or riptides, I think that would be awesome for dealing with this force on the top. It's all Manti.
Yeah,
That would
for
just be
sure. Yeah,
great.
Mantis versus a Riptide's always good.
And Emerald continuing to raid everywhere that Numbringer is not paying attention to. And now that Numbringer's ACU has left the expansion, he's building tanks and artillery and he's raiding. This is. I mean, even if Enero loses, he just does entertaining things, which makes him fun to watch.
Tech 2 Air, we just saw Corsair.
Yep.
That position.
And Anerol has basically zero Air Force, so Tech 2 Flak is his only choice.
Yeah, he's gonna put some shields around his Tech 2 Power.
Oh, he made Tech 2 Power in this one? Interesting.
One Tech 2 Power for Nürnberger. So both players very similar power. Back here looks like a big air spam going on under attack. Oh, but there is a hoplite there on the very top.
Yes, yes. The point defense has fallen. So
If those arties were to take out the hoplite,
yeah, then
that would be very nice.
they could kill everything because I don't think Num is paying attention.
Neither player paying attention, unfortunately. And this is secret base, they're really paying off.
Yeah,
and whoa, this big fight in the middle.
Yeah, Num is losing that. He's gonna lose ground in the middle. He's gonna lose the entire left-hand side. Enrol can easily defend his base because it's at a choke point right now. Actually, Enrol made a brilliant move there, positioning his factories in such a way that it's forcing the units into a choke point.
And the position of the Tech 1 point defense is very nice.
That's great, and a Tech 2 point defense to clean up anything that gets too far. So really good stuff from Enrol here, forcing a choke point.
Two
with factories.
big victories and a lot of reclaim. He's got engineers moving in that position as well.
And he's taken. He's got more. I mean, well, yeah, he's got more mexes at this point because Numbringer doesn't really have control of the mexes everywhere. Num is not
Numbringer realizing something isn't going right.
He doesn't understand what's going on.
But there is Sparkies on the field from Aniral. He might do some Tech 2 point defense creeps, but he needs to get onto this.
Yeah, he needs to get that reclaim, and he needs to deal with the Corsairs. Tech 2 mobile flak is really what he needs at this point.
Oh, look at this Artie, 8 kills, and this hoplite is too far away to do anything about it. Oh yes, we should cast Aniral's games more often.
And that secret base has completely wiped out the expansion from Numbringer while his ACU was away.
Yep.
TML now for Numbringer. Versus
that's always good.
Versus terrible UEF TMD, that could be good.
But this shield is gonna be good for Admiral.
So that spot,
of course, yeah.
So that choke point that Enero created with the factories, that has a lot of reclaim that he needs to pick up. Actually, Enero could pick up reclaim in a lot of places.
Yeah. The biggest one though, where we had that battle, the Tech 2 on Tech 2, it's probably a few thousand reclaim just sitting there.
He is now moving there with 2 engineers, so he will get that.
Looks like the Corsairs have targeted the bottom expansion here, the bottom ledge. Some success. Their artillery is still going to work. It's not 9 kills. Looks like it's hitting the factory directly.
Yeah.
Which is alright. It's denying the interceptors.
It would be great if that killed all the engineers.
Numbringer's ACU is a bit exposed there.
No, I don't think it's that exposed. There's not much to threaten it. But now, a force from Anirul going right into Nam's base, but I didn't see the Tech 2 point defenses. And now Tech 3 land for Nam. Loyalists. That could hurt. Anirul has really been forced into this little box that he's made. He's got some Tech 2 PDs to defend it.
He does have a Tech 2 mask extractors here. If he were to upgrade those a little more. But it looks like he lost the chance to grab the reclaim. That reclaim is going to belong to...
Yeah, if Numbringer reclaims that and turns it all into Tech 3 units, that could be game over. And if he takes those Corsairs to the top and kills the top ledge, then that'll remove all hope of map control for Enroll. And that artillery finally died. That's a bit tragic. It was there for a long time, though.
Shields for Anirul. So it looks like Anirul is going to go into a turtle.
Well, he really doesn't have a choice. Actually, no defense for Nam on his expansion, so Anirul could easily destroy that if he wanted. So you can continue to do this sort of guerrilla warfare that he's been doing.
That's actually how this looks. Most of the map isn't taken by anybody except the 2 main bases.
Yeah, because, I mean, even though Nam controls more, he doesn't have the mexes capped. Oh, Tech 3 artillery for Nam. What is that going to do?
I guess he could... Looks like Tech 3 land for Anirul as well.
Yeah, Tech 3 land for him coming up. And I mean, if he makes some Perseus are far superior to Loyalists. Now
here come the cruise missiles.
Right as I was gonna say that, you said that. Yeah, they're just gonna smack into the shield and not do anything. And what is he targeting? Is he targeting a Tech 1
Tech 2 point defense.
Okay, I think that's a bit of a waste.
Yeah, probably could have done it a little later. No need to kill it now. Here come Tech 2 bombers.
Oh, that could hurt. If he spreads those out, he could kill all the T2 mexes in one pass.
Definitely be the best choice.
And then he could come for a second pass and kill all the Tech 1 power. So it looks like he did do a nice spread. He's almost managed to kill the second one. But because of the lack of anti-air, he can bomb for a long time.
Somehow the Sparky is allowed to grab free reclaim Anirul.
And again, Anirul
a single Tech 2 flak there would have been really nice for Anirul.
Yeah. Again, the top expansion is destroyed for Numbringer. So, I mean, his map control doesn't really count for much. It's very interesting how Anirul is able to do that.
How Numbringer is allowing that to happen. But Tech 2 gunship's not going to work against the Tech 2 point defense.
So now the Tech 2 power is the target. And then, if I were Numbringer, I would take my bombers and spread them out over the Tech 1 power and then end the game. Because if all that Tech 1 power falls, there will be no Percival production and then no way to counter the Loyalists. Gunships are going to take out the Tech 2 point defenses before the Loyalists move in.
Seeing the Cyber and Tech 2 air should always be used.
This is just looking really good for Nam and really bad for Anirul. Even though I have to say again, Anirul was the more entertaining player.
Sure. And it looks like he's got artillery on the doorstep of Numbringer's base.
Yeah.
If he was to walk in and kill all the power, yeah. It's just going to work slowly.
Okay, I can imagine a situation where he got some Perseus and he killed the energy storage and then just walked into Nam's ACU. I can imagine that.
The one unit that Admiral needed was some flak. If he had a couple, like
Uh,
one Tech 2 flak,
Even now, he should just switch and make it out of the Tech 3 factory. It would be so
it would
easy.
be tragic to cancel that Percy, but yeah,
I
there
think he
is no
has to.
choice. I
And
don't think he's able to finish. He's got no mass.
this is it. So game 2, we'll go for Numbringer. Admiral quits.
See, I believe in Admiral. I mean, Number looks like he's getting tired. Admiral can pull this one off.
And now we have game 3 of the WWPC U-1700 final between Admiral and T. Numbringer. Admiral is down 2-0. He played very well, but he didn't really play solidly enough, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, he did
he's
great tricks, but
so here's Numbringer, who's just one game away from defending his title, and he's chosen Theta Passage 5. So we could see a shorter game than the last two.
let's see.
So
You
immediately
can see something interesting. A mech marine from
Yep.
Admiral,
first Mech Marine.
which is now
Yeah.
almost stuck.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been game over.
Just have it get stuck in the factory for 10 minutes, and you'd have to reclaim it to get it out.
Had an
Scout.
ACU get stuck on a Hydra once on Theta. I had to reclaim the Hydra and then go back out in the battle.
So just what orders now I'm getting this stuff in? I can't even tell. I'm not gonna try. Looks like second land, third air from Admiral, and then land after that.
Yeah, it looks like third air for. Yeah, that's gonna be a good build order from.
And
Very solid.
the Scout, is it gonna run into the Mech Marine? Mech Marine is pointing
Yeah,
at it, but okay, yeah, some shots go off. It's dead.
First
The
kill. Yeah.
funny thing is, if that had cloaked, the Mech Marine would not have been able to shoot it.
That's one thing I've seen Fail Pro do. He tracked back with a stealth scout.
Well, no, it's
Exactly.
not. It's not stealth. It's cloak.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so it's invisible to sensor, like to visual, but you can still see it on the radar even when it has its cloak on. So in that situation with no radar, the Mech Marine would not have been able to see it at all if it had been cloaked.
Numberger looks like walks off and reclaims rocks instead of assisting the Hydra.
Yeah, that's a bit dubious. And okay, here's Admiral making. He's assisting with his ACU.
It's gonna be much quicker. I think that's gonna be an advantage for Admiral. He's gonna get a lot more units.
That's a huge advantage. Nom hasn't even finished the
Numberger
Hydra
is
yet.
definitely not feeling well. What is he doing?
I
He's
don't
just
know.
deciding to walk back and forth.
And
We got an expansion on the bottom from Numberger. He's got Mantis assisting that, and there's gonna be actually no raid to the bottom, but an engineer.
yeah, both players being very defensive. Tanks assisting
Mantis
their
up on
engineers.
top. That's gonna be spotted. Looks like third air. So both players going third air. A little quicker for Admiral.
That's usually where I end up losing on this map because I don't go third air and then I get bombed.
Sometimes I regret going third air because somebody who just goes straight Mantis spam will overwhelm you.
I always
It's
end
not
up
gonna
building
happen.
I always end up building my power in a line, so it just gets bombed and I start losing all my power and then I'm just screwed. So maybe
And I think on this map, going really low power is good. If you go third air, you can go interceptor engineer instead of straight air. That way you don't really power stall as much. We got a bomber not coming out for Admiral.
yeah, again, the UAF bombers will try to make an impact. Cyber bomber coming up for Admiral, so at least we're gonna see aggression. I mean, for Numbringer, so aggression from
players
both
going.
players. Yeah. And this engineer on the bottom from Num. Oh, look at the Mantis helping out the engineer.
Yeah, that's always nice to see. It takes 5 Mantis to build as an engineer.
Yeah,
Still,
they kind of suck, but
when you get in that point defense up or something like that in battle, it's useful because they keep shooting even when they're assisting.
no, I don't think they keep shooting. I mean, unless they're pointing in the right direction already. They can't rotate while they're assisting.
Oh, yeah. I know I've seen them shoot. Maybe it looks like some first misses from Admiral.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's expected with the UEF bomber. And more UEF bombers from Anaral, so two now. And the first one is just flying around.
Oh, and the dodge from Anaro with a beautiful dodge.
Oh man, I kind of saw that out of the corner of my eye. And the bomber just hovering over some mobile flag.
Lumbringer.
Oh my god. Oh,
Oh, he's
the
gonna
bomb.
drop it off.
Oh,
That was ridiculous. But a successful bomb.
well, I'm glad for him that he made that work out because he was flying over the flag for so long. That would have been very
The
retarded
Admiral
if he.
killing mask extractor, so the bomber.
Yeah, and
And the second bomber.
he's kind of missing the mask extractors. That I mean, how do you even miss a mask extractor? But the UEF bomber manages to pull that off. That's something special when you can miss a mask extractor.
Admiral's ACU really far in the left corner. It's really deep. He's gonna try to actually try to get a base going over there. Some interceptors from Numberger in that position gonna spot. See that it's a weak position.
General's units are a little bit out of position. They're not doing anything. They're kind of sitting.
Scattered, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice raiding tank that got taken out.
Some more nice misses, although the UAF bomber does have 2 kills. So doing something at least. The one opportunity where it could get some more kills, it's getting shot down. But it did get the bomb off. And misses. Okay.
Now a stationary turret. No reason to make bombers anymore. Just
And
switch
here,
that to interceptors and engine.
and here comes a push down the middle from Mineral. It will be joined by his ACU. So Nam might want to think about retreating at this point.
Yeah, and Admiral is going to pull back his units to the ACU. There is an engineer.
I think Nam should take those 3 Manta on the bottom and push, which he is doing. Because Admiral is throwing
And also,
everything
Mantis for Numbringer that's almost dead is taking out Admiral's extractors.
Oh man.
That's
I think
kind of painful.
I think that's a job for the UEF bomber, because one of the 8 bombs would hit and that would kill it.
Yep.
Anyway.
The rating is so much better for Numbringer.
Tanks coming in, I think they'll definitely kill the Mantis before it kills any more mass extractors. And Enrol's units are too far ahead of the ACU. They're all gonna die. I mean, he needs to conserve his units and use his ACU to kill. And how is this engineer from Numbringer still alive? That means that he has a chance to take these mass extractors while
Yeah, you should
Enrol's
just go into get the mass extractors on the ledge and try to
and make a wall or something. Of course, then Enrol can just reclaim it with his engineer, but still, it's a bit
a
ridiculous.
lot more building going on for Numbringer. He's got a lot more factories planned.
So now Numbringer moving his ACU very far forward. And what are we seeing from Enrol? He's going to try to surround him, and Numbringer will not fall for that trap. He's going to move back.
And a really nice tank for Admiral here that's left. He's had an expanding engineer.
Okay, Enrol's force is getting split. He needs to fix that. Because individually his forces will die, and then he'll be in huge trouble.
Yeah. I think a couple more mass extractors for Numbringer are going to make a difference here.
This is a bad situation for Enrol. At least with the split army and the one unified army of Numbringer.
See a bit of lag there first.
Enrol
But
does
actually, Admiral playing this very well. He's pulling back in a very nice formation.
Yeah, actually, I didn't see him doing that, but now it works out.
Admiral needs to use his ACU. Both players are not really using their ACU.
Yeah, we
Get
see
them in the middle. The Admiral is going to get a factory on the left side. Try to establish a base.
Or is he? Is he even gonna finish that factory? Oh my god. It's so close to being finished, and the engineer has stopped. He's actually moving away.
That's one disadvantage.
He's actually moving away from the factory. He needs to finish that. Come on. It would take 2 seconds to finish that factory, but he's not going to do it.
That's just teasing. I'm not really sure what's going on.
I think maybe he's just trolling at this point. Maybe he doesn't want to play anymore.
I don't think that's what it is, but
because that doesn't make any sense.
yeah, now push from Numbringer, which I think is a mistake.
Yeah, against the ACU and bunched up units, it's impossible.
Numbringer what the heck? Numbringer is away from anything. He's away from enemies. He's away from mask extractors. He's just walking in the field. Actually, a pretty good reclamation field around Anerol's ACU. So I don't think either player knows what the heck they're doing. They have no plan whatsoever.
And now
They had those initial build orders. They knew what they had to do bombing. And after that, it's just been sort of like...
it's been click, drag, and click randomly.
Now, let's see. Anerol's going to pull back, yeah. But Anerol actually not getting two good forces in position.
The one on the left is in trouble, though, of getting sandwiched.
The ACU needs to come back. Actually, yeah, it looks like Numbringer is going to deny everything in the top left.
So if he had bothered to finish that factory, he could have made some engineers and reclaimed that huge field.
Yeah, big missed opportunity there for Anerol. Now Numbringer is going to move with his ACU. The air, though, has been won by Anerol, so if he chooses to go... Yeah, he is going to go back to bombers. Makes any difference.
Okay, now this is a good move from Anerol because Nam's force is in a terrible spot.
Back, the Mantis might have the speed, but of course that will force Anerol way out of position, expose the right side of his base.
Yeah, that's not good, but if Nam continues to just have his ACU hang out, then it'll be easy to defend against this force on the right.
Now Anerol, oh, he's just
His
tanks in the wrong position.
His ACU is kind of hanging out too. It's not killing anything, and his forces are just randomly moving
8
around.
kills versus 3 kills on the ACUs.
At minute 10.
Now we got raiding group on the right side.
I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem, though. Anerol panicking and sending every single unit back, I think, except for the ones on the top. That's a
There's
bit
a
overkill.
point defense there. There's no... And now Numbringer, huge numbers on the left side.
Yeah,
he just needs to push.
He's going to overwhelm
And finally,
Anerol.
the factory has been finished.
And
but
now
it's gonna die.
Yeah, it's finished, and now it's not gonna do anything. So if there's gonna be one huge engagement here, then maybe Anerol has hope of getting a draw or whatever. But right now, Nam has a huge advantage, and Nam needs to split off some of these Manti and kill the rest of the top. But I guess he feels like he can win the game, so maybe he doesn't care.
He definitely has the better position.
I don't see how this stuff is still alive for Anerol, though. Nam could just take 5 Manti and kill everything.
So far in this game, we haven't seen any tricks from Anerol, which has been disappointing. That's what really kept the series entertaining.
Well, maybe maybe he doesn't have enough room to do tricks on this map.
Tech 2 land now from Roman.
Tech 2 land from Anerol, though, as well, so both players with Tech 2 land.
Tech 2 engineer. Of course, the mass production has been so much better for Numbringer has had the bottom right for such a long time. He still has uncapped mass extractors.
Yeah, he said that the entire game. It's a bit ridiculous, actually. He doesn't have those mass extractors.
No Tech 2 mass. Actually, a Tech 2 mass extractor for Numbringer.
And now 3/4 of the map will belong to Numbringer. And on Theta, that's not a good situation.
You need the other player to basically make a mistake at that point. Either rush in and give you a whole bunch of reclaim, or... And I think if you're in a position where you have this much map control, you just play it safe. Don't rush in, tech up, get better tech, and tech to point defense creep straight up the middle.
Which, I mean, Num is making Tech 2 PDs, but he's not really creeping with them. He's making them very defensively.
Yeah, there's no reason to put them there. You just put it right in the middle of the map. You should put Raider there, put some flak there. missiles, whatever. He's gonna give the top left once again to Admiral if Admiral chooses to take it.
So usually I like to think of what a player could do in this situation and if everything went right for them, what could get them out of this situation, but I don't see how Enroll can dig himself out of this hole.
No, it's really not up to him. It's up to Numbringer to either lose or. There is some tech to point defenses now for Admiral.
An epic Mantis assist on the ACU going down for Numbringer. He's getting the gun.
Oh, this is a job for the Lobo. A couple Lobo shots.
Or
that would be very tragic.
A couple of grenades from the mongoose.
Yeah, that's also good.
But once he has the gun, he can go and massacre everything with his overcharge.
Is that what he's getting? I believe he's getting the gun.
Yeah, he is, because it's 300 power.
I always wonder with getting these upgrades early is to go to power storages, and then you can do really big assist, force the energy without stalling. Then you can reclaim the other power storage, but I never get around to trying to do that.
Well,
At some point I'll try it.
Does sound like a good idea.
Might as well always get the stealth with the Cyber ACU, but
There's a ghetto from Enroll, so I guess that kind of counts as a trick. It's not going to kill much though.
yeah, there isn't many interceptors for Number.
Well, there's one, and that's enough. Actually, two. Yeah, really.
Admiral does have some like 2-point defense, but
unless Nom runs all the way into the middle of Enroll's base by himself, there's not going to be anything that Enroll can do. I mean, yeah.
I think, yeah, normally you just throw everything at Admiral, see what happens.
Yeah, really,
Do a lot of damage.
All he needs to do now is box everything and go.
There's a couple Tech 1-point defenses which probably do a bit of damage, but still.
Well, box everything and go is what I would be doing at this point. But of course, my moves aren't exactly the most logical moves. And yeah, I think this is just the Doom charge, which is going to put an end to this series.
A convincing victory from.
The first game was pretty close, but the second game, Nom had control most of the time, and this game was just steamrolling.
Still alive. Tech 1-point defenses. Last one, 9 kills. One good thing about the Cyber and Artillery, even though it can't hit the point defense, it does freeze it so it doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
16 minutes.
Alright, so that is the series, and I'm gonna upload this because it's the first really good double cast where
I think that was good. We should do these in the future.
Yeah, we're actually seeing the same.
Who wants to play again?
That was the really impressive